Ever wondered how safe your favorite web applications are? Do you know what web application security is and why it's crucial? Well, web application security is all about safeguarding web applications from security threats and vulnerabilities. These applications running on web servers and accessed via web browsers over the internet are in constant danger because of their public accessibility. So what makes up the bastion of web application security? There are several key aspects to consider. Firstly, we have authentication and authorization. These are mechanisms that verify users' identities and ensure they have the right permissions to access resources or carry out specific actions within the application. Next, we talk about data encryption. It's about using protocols like HTTPS to secure data transmission between the user's browser and the web server, preventing eavesdropping and man-in-the-middle attacks. Then there's input validation, which makes sure user-provided data is safe and doesn't compromise the application. This helps in preventing vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and cross-site request forgery. We also have to discuss session management, which is all about protecting user sessions from being hijacked or accessed without authorization. This involves secure session identifiers, using secure cookies, and managing session timeouts. Security headers in HTTP responses provide additional protection against certain types of attacks, while security patching keeps all software components up to date with the latest security fixes. Firewalls and intrusion detection systems help filter and monitor network traffic, detecting and responding to suspicious activities or attacks. Error handling is also crucial, with proper procedures required to avoid exposing sensitive information in error messages. File upload security is necessary if your application allows file uploads, with validation and restrictions needed to prevent malicious file uploads. Finally, we have security testing. Regular assessments, including penetration testing and code reviews, are necessary to identify and address vulnerabilities. Web application security is an ongoing process, a combination of secure coding practices, regular testing, and a proactive approach to addressing emerging threats. As the threat landscape evolves, it's crucial to stay informed about new vulnerabilities and best practices. Now that you have a basic understanding of web application security, let's dive deeper into its key aspects. First off, we have authentication and authorization. Authentication is the process of confirming that users are who they claim to be. Think of it as a digital handshake, where a user presents credentials like a username and password, and the system verifies them. But verifying who you are is only half the battle. That's where authorization comes in. Authorization is the process of granting or denying access to resources based on the identity confirmed during authentication. It's like a digital bouncer determining what you can and cannot do within the application. These two work hand in hand to secure your web applications. They ensure that only verified users can access your application, and even then they can only access what they're permitted to. In a world where cyber threats are a common concern, secure authentication and authorization are the first line of defense in web application security. Next, we delve into data encryption and input validation, two vital components that form the backbone of web application security. Let's start with data encryption. Picture this: you're sending a letter through the post, and you don't want anyone but the recipient to read it. What do? You seal it in an envelope. Similarly, in the world of web applications, we use data encryption protocols like HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This protocol uses SSL, or Secure Sockets Layer, and TLS, Transport Layer Security, to seal our data in a digital envelope. This encryption ensures that the data transmitted between the user's browser and the web server remains secure, preventing any eavesdropping or man-in-the-middle attacks. Now imagine you're running a club and you want to make sure only members get in. You'd probably have a list of members and check everyone's ID at the door, right? This is essentially what input validation does for your web application. It ensures that the data provided by users is safe to use and does not compromise the application in any way. Input validation is critical in preventing common vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, where an attacker could manipulate your database, or cross-site scripting, where an attacker could run malicious scripts in the user's browser. It also helps prevent cross-site request forgery, where an attacker tricks the victim into performing actions without their consent. So how do we validate input? We do this by checking or sanitizing user-provided data before using it in our application. This might involve checking that an email address looks like an email address or ensuring that a password meets certain strength requirements. By validating input, we can catch potentially harmful data before it causes problems. In essence, data encryption is like sending a sealed letter, ensuring that only the intended recipient can read it. Input validation, on the other hand, is like the bouncer at the club door, checking IDs and making sure only legitimate members get in. With secure data encryption and rigorous input validation, we can significantly reduce the risk of security breaches. Let's move on to session management and security headers. In the realm of web application security, session management is pivotal. It safeguards user sessions from hijacking or unauthorized access. This is achieved by generating secure session identifiers, using secure cookies, and managing session timeouts. Imagine it as a security guard, ensuring that only authorized individuals can access certain areas. Next, we have security headers. These are akin to additional shields, dispatched within HTTP responses to provide further protection against certain types of attacks. Some of the common security headers you'll come across include content security policy, strict transport security, and X-content type options. They function like bouncers at a club, keeping the unwanted guests out. The combination of secure session management and the implementation of the right security headers, therefore, offers an extra layer of security to your web application. It's like having both a security guard and bouncers working in tandem to ensure the safety of your web application. Proper session management and the right security headers add an extra layer of security to your web application. Now let's talk about security patching, firewalls, and intrusion detection systems. In our interconnected world, keeping software components up to date is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. This is where security patching comes in. It's like a mechanic looking under the hood of your car, finding worn-out parts and replacing them. But in the realm of software, regular security patching keeps all elements of your web application, from the server to the database, running smoothly and securely. It's about plugging holes and fixing vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. Now imagine a bouncer at a nightclub. He checks IDs, controls the flow of people, and keeps an eye out for trouble. That's your firewall. Firewalls monitor and filter the traffic coming in and out of your network, like a bouncer controlling who enters and leaves the club. They're the first line of defense against unwanted visitors, ensuring only legitimate traffic gets through. But what happens if someone sneaky gets past the bouncer? That's where intrusion detection systems, or IDS, come into play. Think of IDS as the security cameras inside the club. They're constantly scanning and analyzing network activity. If they spot anything unusual, like a sudden spike in data transfer or a series of failed login attempts, they raise the alarm. In essence, IDS are the eyes and ears within your network, giving you real-time insights into what's happening. They can detect potential breaches in their early stages, allowing you to respond quickly and effectively. So in the grand scheme of web application security, these three components, security patching, firewalls, and IDS, play integral roles. They work together like a well-oiled machine to protect your web application from threats and ensure its smooth operation. Remember, regular patching and the use of firewalls and IDS are essential for maintaining a secure web application. Finally, let's discuss error handling, file upload security, and security testing. These are the final aspects of web application security that we're going to delve into. First off, error handling. It's more than just about keeping your users informed when things go wrong. It's about preventing the exposure of sensitive information that could be exploited by attackers. So when an error occurs, instead of displaying technical details that could reveal system information, we provide generic error messages to the user. Meanwhile, the detailed error information is logged and kept for developers to troubleshoot. This way, we keep our cards close to our chest and the application secure. Next, let's talk about file upload security. If your application allows users to upload files, you're going to need to tread carefully. Each file uploaded is a potential security risk. It could be a harmful script or a malware-infected file. To mitigate this risk, it's crucial to implement validation measures, check the file types and sizes, scan for malware, and store the files securely. This way, we ensure that the file uploads do not become a gateway for attacks. And lastly, security testing. This is where we put our web application to the test. Through regular security assessments like penetration testing and code reviews, we can identify and address potential vulnerabilities. It's a proactive measure to ensure that the security measures in place are doing their job effectively. Both automated tools and manual testing have their roles to play in this process. Automated tools can quickly find known vulnerabilities, while manual testing can uncover complex security issues that require a human touch. In essence, error handling, file upload security, and security testing are about being vigilant and proactive. They're about anticipating the threats and planning in advance. Because in the world of web application security, it's not just about building a strong fortress, but also about constantly testing its walls and improving its defenses. Proper error handling, secure file uploads, and rigorous security testing are the final pieces of the web application security puzzle. Now that we've covered the key aspects of web application security, let's summarize. We've journeyed through the importance of robust authentication and authorization, ensuring only verified users have access to appropriate resources. We've explored the necessity of data encryption, keeping our information safe from prying eyes, and the significance of thorough input validation to thwart malicious attacks. We've delved into effective session management and the use of security headers to further fortify our web applications. We've also touched on the need for regular security patching, the use of firewalls and intrusion detection systems, as well as the importance of proper error handling and secure file uploads. And finally, we've underscored the importance of regular security testing to identify and rectify vulnerabilities. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in maintaining a secure web application. Remember, web application security is an ongoing process, and staying informed is crucial. Stay safe and keep your web application secure.